Trying to learn a new language just by staring at a grammar textbook is, well, it's incredibly frustrating.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you can memorize all the conjugation rules, but until you physically train your vocal cords to make those foreign sounds out loud, you can't actually speak it.
Because you're trying to cross that gap between, data acquisition and actual integration. You have to physically engage the body to reshape the brain.
Today, we are looking at an excerpt from a daily devotional called Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, specifically the April 30th entry.
Yeah, the source material focuses on the mechanics of meditation. But it redefines meditation not as a passive retreat, but as a highly active mechanism for activating the human spirit.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the foundational premise here is that simply reading words on a page is entirely insufficient.
Right, which maps right back to your language analogy.
You can't just stare at the text and expect a result.
Exactly. The text makes this distinct claim that biblical truth isn't automatically powerful just because it happens to be written down. It argues that truth only becomes effective when it is, quote, active in your spirit.
Active in your spirit.
Yeah. And the required bridge between the written page and that living, active practice is meditation. It's presented as the sole mechanism for conditioning the spirit so the text actually becomes operative in your daily life.
So a silent reading doesn't build that spiritual muscle memory. What actually does?
Yeah.
Because when I hear the word meditation, my brain immediately defaults to someone sitting on a cushion, eyes closed, in total silence.
Most people's do. But this text completely flips that script. It outlines a three-step progression that starts internally but rapidly escalates into a physical vocal act.
Okay, so what are the steps?
Level 1 is called rumination. This is pondering and digesting the words deeply in your heart, which is closest to our traditional image of meditation.
Right, the quiet part.
Yeah. But level 2 introduces physical action. It calls it muttering.
Wait, muttering?
Mm-hmm.
If the goal is internal conditioning, why does moving my lips matter if I'm barely making a sound? That feels, I don't know, counterintuitive to deep focus.
Well, moving your lips physically engages the body's motor systems. The source encourages speaking the text quietly under your breath.
Oh, I see.
By doing that, you are forced to slow down, control your breath, and coordinate your vocal cords. It physically overrides your normal internal monologue.
You aren't just thinking the words anymore, you're actually producing them.
You're producing them, exactly.
Yeah.
But that is just the warm-up for level 3.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because the text explicitly calls this final stage roaring.
Roar, yes.
Which is a massive leap from just, like, moving your lips on a train commute. How does that work in practice?
It instructs you to shout the words out loud, boldly. At this stage, the instruction is to completely let go of any concern for your environment or who else might be present.
Wait, really? Just shout it no matter who is around?
Yep. The rationale is that the text has taken such complete hold of you that it demands loud, uninhibited vocalization. You are supposed to actively ignore social norms.
So what does this all mean? Why push a personal spiritual practice to the extreme of literally ignoring your surroundings and shouting?
What's fascinating here is the psychological and physiological transformation promised as a direct result of this practice. By forcing yourself to roar these convictions, you are intentionally breaking your own social conditioning.
Wow, breaking the conditioning.
Yeah, the source claims that through this escalating, loud meditation, your spirit is conditioned, your fears melt away, and your boldness grows.
I mean, think about it. The sheer volume creates physiological arousal.
Exactly, it pumps adrenaline.
Right, and forces you to physically embody the confidence you're trying to cultivate internally. It's radical self-conditioning through sound.
Exactly that. The text references biblical passages like Joshua 1.8 and Matthew 12.34. That's the concept that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Okay.
The claim is that by loudly saturating yourself with these words, you achieve prosperity and good success. The ultimate stated goal is that your personality is actually beautified with God's glory. You shout it until you become it.
Wow.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the Rhapsody of Realities devotional presents a highly active, physically engaged approach to internalizing spiritual beliefs. It operates on the idea that the physical voice leads the internal spirit.
Which brings us right back to training those vocal cords. You have to make the sound to change the mind.
You really do.
It makes you wonder, regardless of personal beliefs, if any of us were to start literally roaring our deepest convictions and goals out loud, how much would that physical, completely uninhibited act actually override our own anxiety and permanently alter our internal confidence? Something to chew on.
We trust you were blessed by this episode. To gain unlimited access to Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, please download the Rhapsody app using the link myapp.rhapsodyofrealities.org. God bless you.